There is this expression, my heart is jumping out of the body, or I'm jumping out of my skin. That is the closest expression for intense love, an intense feeling where you cannot contain your love anymore. Then you get this expression, it's exploding, it's coming out. That intense love is very purifying. It is uplifting. It brings our desire to fulfillment, fruition. Somehow, if we can tap this or come into this space of intense love, know that your job is done. Half the job is done. Yeah. And satsang is a means for it. So when you're singing your heart out and you're participating it fully, then all this chattering in the mind stops and you become just a lump of energy. Isn't it your experience? Have you all experienced this? I know you have all experienced. That's the most beautiful thing. That's the thing that people are longing, yearning for. To have this experience, you go from pillar to post, from one relationship to another relationship, from one job to another job. You do all sorts of things only to get this intense experience, but that is right there in deep devotion. Yeah, that's it. And it is contagious. If you sit with someone who has that intense love, you also catch it. And so, that is how you need to conduct the satsangs. But immersed in it and it catches on to others. And you are left with just pure bliss, pure joy. Yeah? In that all shortcomings disappear. Shortcomings are recognized not by the heart, by the head. Your head says, oh, this is less, that is, this need to be improved, that need to be improved. Yeah. This is not all right, that is not all these calculation and shortcomings are done by the head. But the heart knows no imperfection because heart is always perfect. Mm. And the head always finds there is room for improvement. That means it's always looking for perfection. However perfect you are, you feel that it could be something better than this. Mm. So you have hot milk and you say, oh, if we put little bit saffron in it, it will be even tastier. And then someone else will come and say, no, you put little bit almonds in it, it'll be even better. And the third one will say, no, some cardamom. So it's endless. So perfection has no end in the head. And that is, in a way, good. On the other hand, the heart is always perfect. And that's good too. See in your life which you are into. How much of head you have, how much of heart you are, and how much you have the balance of both. Yeah, that's your exercise. Are you able to let go and be 100% in the heart, in the devotion, in singing, in love? Do you have that, or you have lost this ability? If you seemingly lost that ability, then put a full stop for your analysis. Yeah. Good. Yeah, you have some questions? Now that you have come out of silence, yeah, it was good. Very good. Some of you are not in silence at all. Hmm. Yeah.
Gurudev, a question from the French basket.
From? Say
From
that
the
again.
French basket.
French basket. Yeah.
Gurudev, thank you again for all that you're giving with such love, with such devotion. It touches me a lot. And when you said that to thank you, you wish that we would wipe away all the tears on others' face, that we could share your teachings. Again, your gift is towards others. What a lesson. Thank you so much. Dearest Gurudev, what's the difference between longing and craving? Where does one end and the other begins? I can't bear being away from you. Is that longing for you or craving for you? Much love.
Craving is for pleasure, in which you are the center and you crave for your comfort, your pleasure. Longing is connected with love. In love, you are there for the other. In love, you are there to serve. In craving, you are there to possess. So you are possessive or you are longing to serve. You are longing to merge. You are longing to dissolve. One is trying to possess and keep your identity. Another is letting go and be one with what is. Yeah.
Dear Gurudev, are you ever sad or annoyed? If so, how do you stop your emotions from getting to you?
What do you think? Huh? Do I look sad or what is the other thing? Annoyed? It's like asking sun, are you cold? Can I give you my jacket? Are you cold? You ask fire, do you need a blanket? I am in my nature, in my element. Yeah.
Dear Gurudev, can one be successfully both spiritually and financially?
Well, they are not contrary, provided you are not lazy and you are not taking spirituality as an excuse to run away from your responsibility or your hard work. And you can't just get immersed in material life because that is not going to make you happy. You need spiritual flavor to life, spiritual touch to life. Only that can bring you peace, solace, and the much needed love in life. So, balance.
Question from online course. Dear Gurudev, though all is Maya, at the same time, there is a lot of war and suffering in the world today. How is it for you, knowing the Maya, but feeling all the pain of humanity?
Yeah, there are two different dimensions. Knowing all this is Maya gives you strength and stability. And the suffering really brings up the empathy wherein you spring into action to do what is needed to elevate suffering. To see, it's like seeing and hearing. Your eyes sees and your ear hears. In the same way, your heart moves towards serving, but your wisdom keeps you balanced and not get involved. Yeah.
Dear Gurudev, how to overcome fears?
You have heard the whole advanced course. You have learned about all the chakras. You know what is fear, love, and hatred. They all form of one energy. When you are more grateful in your life, when you become aware of all that you have and feel grateful, the same energy moves up and becomes grateful, and then where is the fear? Intense love, when it manifests in life, fear disappears. Yeah. Or intense hatred also. I would prefer you have more. You move in the direction of love, not in the direction of hatred. What's happening in the Middle East? Just this. Such hatred that is making people blind. And on both sides. Revenge and hatred. 20,000 people, innocent people, killed. Just matter of 2 months. What do you call this? You call this human thing, humanness? So, if you are in such an activity because some stupid people did something wrong, you're taking revenge and you go into the same basket of those people. You're no better than them. In fact, you justify those people's actions. Now, Hamas has got more admirers or more supporters. You didn't want people to support the terrorists, but you end up doing just the opposite. You end up creating more sympathy and support for them. Isn't this foolishness? Yeah, it's absolute foolishness. Yeah.
Dear Gurudev, consciousness about environmental issues is increasing, and their global and massive dimension let many people feel powerless and worried. How can we transform these difficult feelings into desire to take action? What is the first step to be more careful about nature?
Yeah. You have many things, you know it, what all you need to do. Use less gasoline, avoid using plastics, avoid using non-veg food, stop the meat consumption, and use less of refrigerators. There's so many things. And plant trees, use nature friendly things, less of paper. There are list of things you can do. Just go in the internet, it will tell you a lot. Yeah. Do all that. And on top of it, create awareness in people. Make people sensitive. That can happen only if you teach them meditation. People who meditate, they become more sensible and sensitive.
Encourage everybody from around the world to write to your government, write to your mayor. I encourage everybody from around the world to write to your government, write to your president, write. I also encourage everybody from around the world to write to your presidents, write to your mayors. Raise awareness, tell them that we're destroying the planet. If we don't change in less than 7 years, we'll hit the point of no return. And it's up to us. We cannot just allow greedy people to take over our planet. We have to do something. We have to stand up in a peaceful manner and tell them, don't destroy our planet. And Gurudev, at WCF, at the last meditation that you did, I did see you tear up when you asked everybody to pray for peace in the world. And we are one world family. How can we allow to see our brothers and sisters being bombed in Gaza, in Israel, in Ukraine, in Syria, all these atrocities that are happening around the world? We cannot just be bystanders. We need to be peaceful warriors. And yesterday after Christmas, I was thinking, what can we do? And I thought how you helped take out all the people from India, from Ukraine. What if we raise our voices? There's so many people in the world that are billionaires, that have so much money that they cannot even spend in lifetimes. What if there's people that own islands? Why can't we all speak up and say, let's get out the children from Gaza. Let's get out the mothers from Gaza and Israel and Ukraine. Let's create a safe haven for them so that we do not witness kids being bombed. I mean, I just attended in Los Angeles a program with Oliver Stone, who did a movie about Vietnam, the Vietnam War. And there was a lady there that when she was a little girl, she was photographed naked right after she was bombed with her skin falling off. And we cannot allow this to continue to happen.
Yeah, yeah. I understand your intense feeling. Yeah, we all have that feeling. We have to do. That's why we are doing all that we can. It's all in here in the mind. A few people in their mind, if they are not okay, they will create these things. Mental health is the biggest issue. See what is happening in Prague, in Europe. What was happening in US has come to Prague. Someone killed 14 children in the school. But done, it was not their any of their mistake. One crazy boy goes up, wounds 22 people, and then kills 14 people. And this is unless you do take care of their mental status, the world will continue to reel in violence. Every day, 2.9, almost 3 mass shootings are happening in United States. El Salvador, the crime in El Salvador is higher than the war anywhere in the world. Every day, more people die in El Salvador than in war. So, spirituality is the way. We need to teach people how to be compassionate, empathetic, how to take care of the brain, the mind. Isn't it? Otherwise, it's going to be like this. Just money alone will not do. There are billionaires, right? What you said. And what they do, they fund to create viruses in the world so that the population can be controlled. Because Earth cannot provide for everybody if the population keeps growing. So they want uh, the population to be controlled through virus, creating virus. That's the most idiotic thing one can think of. So let's not get shaken by these things. Well, that's why I say knowledge is necessary. You be stable. If you're shaken, then you will react instead of taking the right action. Reaction is always full of flaws. Action could be better. The action is always better than reaction. In reaction, there is a component of regret also. Every reaction, if you notice, you end up regretting later on. But if you act that you are thinking and from you think over and with a calm mind, you will come forward. That's a different thing. Yeah. Good.
Be a question in the same line. How can we convince self-centered leaders to be more spiritual?
That you should keep working. You should all keep working, talk to different people. Don't be shy when it comes to talking about spirituality or your path. If you're shy talking about your path, you're not doing justice. You are not doing what you could have done by your talking, inspiring others, bringing solace to others. Two of our German teachers were staying in a house in New Delhi. This was in the beginning of Art of Living. It was in the early 90s, I would say. So they were staying in somebody's house, and uh, in that house, the father of the house, his son, and all, they were interacting. And the daughter-in-law of the house was also there. She was staying separately, and they never managed to speak to the daughter-in-law somehow. And everybody else said, "Oh, she's different. She doesn't like any of these things. She's into music and that sort of thing." And so, for a long time, for a year and a half, they would have satsangs, everything in their home, follow up kriya, but the daughter-in-law was never involved. They thought that she is not going to like it. She doesn't like this, she doesn't like that. That's a concept they had. But then one day, it happened that she came to know, and she somehow ended up doing the program, and she became great devotee, and she became our star singer. You know, at her own house, the whole programs were happening for more than, I think, 1.5 or 2 years, something like that, and finally she got it. Because the people were shy to approach her, shy to talk to her. Similarly, one of our organizer, this gentleman was very shy to talk about his spiritual path in his office. And it did happen that his boss somehow came to the ashram and he did the course, he liked it. And then he bumped into this person who is our organizer. Hey, what are you doing here? Each one of them said, "What are you doing here?" So I am the board member of Art of Living. Why didn't you tell me? All these years, 10 years, you never told me that. You know? So like, these sort of things do happen. It because the shyness, and we think that others may not approve our path or approve of the knowledge. This thinking, this pattern, we must get over it. And even if someone don't respect you for your path, so what? They'll change their opinion. They'll start respecting you later. Yeah. Yeah. And even if they don't respect, so what? Yeah. That's how we must go. Then you will be able to do something good. You'll be able to contribute to the society more than your imagination. Yeah. Yeah.
Gurudev, you said in the video in advanced course that all our emotions are connected to the 5 elements. And by observing them fall and rise, we are able to manage our emotions. We can only observe ourselves, but in day-to-day life, we experience triggers at work, home, etc. Not all human interactions are innocent and conflict-free. How do we address the right and wrong actively? Does being able to recognize elements dominating in others mean we always have to accommodate?
No, it is for your understanding so that you don't react. If suppose someone is shouting, I'm not saying you must always listen to them shouting. Okay, once, twice, thrice, but if they continue, you shout louder than them. Then they'll keep quiet. I'm not saying you be peaceful, don't say anything, keep smiling. No. If sometimes you need to shout, you need to shout. If sometimes you need to give them some slap, you give a slap to them. But without you getting agitated. Got it? So, sometimes the mother shouts at the kids. It doesn't affect her. A mother getting upset or angry at the kids does not really affect her. And it is good for the kids sometimes. It makes them stronger. Mm. So, but you shouldn't do it too much. Then the children don't care for it. They become rebellious in nature. So you observe the emotions, no doubt, but doesn't mean that you should never express the emotions. You too can express the emotions. Why not? Yeah, you should. And emotions make life more beautiful. Yeah. Mm.
Dear Gurudev, thank you so much for your visit in France. Question: how to continue, how to live happily despite disappointment?
When you are disappointed, you are disappointed. Don't try to impose happiness or make a mood out of it. Be with the emotions at that moment. It's not going to last for long. No emotion, no feeling will last forever. They all come and go. At least have this patience. You know, don't act out of emotions. Got it? Okay. Even if you act sometime out of emotion, don't regret it. It's okay. It's okay, that also. Just take life as it comes to you. Yeah. Done? One last question.
Okay.
How many more you have?
253.
Yeah.
Online course question. Dear Gurudev, how do we deal with parents who engage in politics and manipulation for selfish motives, breaking the family and fail to change the repeated pattern of destructive behavior? Is it wrong to maintain distance from them to save your mind?
Yes. When you see someone is in some patterns and they are self destructive, first of all, you take a distance from them. If you feel too much sense of belongingness, you get carried away with them. So when you maintain a mental distance, you become stronger, you become stable. It's like some contagious disease. If someone is having a have is having a severe cold, you don't go and rub your nose with their nose, right? You keep the distance. In the same way, keep the distance from toxic attitude of people or behavior of people. Now, at the same time, don't label them as toxic or don't label them as playing politics and dirty people. Then you will not be able to communicate with them at all. You shut down your own communication the moment you label others as playing politics. See from a broad mindset who plays a politics, someone who is fearful, someone who lacks self confidence, someone who is nervous, or someone who feels very weak and vulnerable. And you don't go with a stick to the weak and vulnerable people. Or you don't shout at them. You know that they're weak and vulnerable. If they're playing games, it is because you have to pity them. They don't have the inner strength. They don't know themselves. They are shaky from inside. Once you see from this angle, you see this vision, your own behavior towards them become much, much, much different. You will look at them like a mother who looks at a rebellious child, or a son or a daughter who have all wrong behavior. But the mother says, oh, this poor child is doing this. He's suffering. They see the suffering in the child. They see the child needs help and not through hateful eyes. Do any mother anywhere feel hatred towards a son or daughter who behave completely um, in a weird manner? Never. She'll always say, oh, I'm so sorry, he's not okay, not mentally okay. We need to do something to fix him or her. Isn't it? Hmm? There is a saying in India for the mother, even if their son is like a crow, for her it is like a nightingale. For mother, even a crow is a nightingale. So that is because of empathy, unconditional empathy, love, unconditional love. That is a space that naturally blossoms in you when you are in sadhana, when you do practices. Yeah.
Beloved Gurudev, you said once that a devotee should be like the master's shadow. At the same time, yesterday, you mentioned that the way an enlightened being works is very uncertain. So how can I be your shadow and align myself with you? Please guide.
You are expecting an answer. I'm not going to give you one. I would here say, drop your expectations. How about that? Well, let me give you the answer after 3 years. How about that? Yeah.